Mark Walsh here, founder of Embodied Yoga Principles. It's one of our key concepts from the art of embodied yoga that I want to introduce. It's called micro postures or micro asana. So Embodied Yoga Principles is really about getting yoga off the mat and into daily life. And there's a number of ways to do that we specialize in. One thing I think is pretty unique is these micro postures or micro asana. So in yoga, we practice, we could call macro postures, macro asana. Let's take warrior pose as a classic example, yeah? And warrior pose is called warrior pose and not, I don't know, kitten posture for a reason. It feels warrior-like. If you do it with the focus, with the full extension, with the weight and the back leg extended particularly, you're gonna get that feeling of being warrior-like. And the same with, other postures like child's posture, much more about letting go and surrendering, forwards bend, classic postures, plus our own postures we have in EYP. So that's great. I can practice that. I can build that way of being. And what do I do when I need to be more warrior-like in my life? Let's say I'm in a meeting and I'm like, right, let's do this. I want to get warrior-like. Well, I can't just do the posture. That would look weird, wouldn't it? Okay, but I can do a small version of that posture. The way I look at it, it's like you're modeling an archetype with the postures, and then you just have to touch it. It's like you've put that archetype in the bank and you need to just make a little withdrawal and it triggers it. It's like you press a button and it triggers it. Sometimes just imagining it. What will help is little things with the hands or the eyes and the body orientation. So let's say I'm a bit unwarrior-like and I'm like, I don't know, maybe we could do that. All I do is I straighten up, I put one leg forward, and this isn't weird, right? You could be standing this way at a bus stop. I've gone from maybe this to slightly angled. I've turned my head, I've looked straight ahead, and I'm going to extend my fingers. And again, not like, whoa, but just not from here, but just a slight extension. I can do that under a table. I could do that in a normal daily life situation. So I might go from like, whatever, kind of casual or a bit timid to, okay, what did you say again? You want to pay me less? Let's talk about that. Okay. So that's warrior posture, and the cameraman's smiling because he actually feels it. It's like, whoa, yeah, and I can make that really extreme or just slightly, It can be like, okay, kids, it's time for bed. It's a friendly warrior, but it's still it's not a, yeah, we can stay up for another hour, I'm a victim mode. Okay, so that's warrior posture. Some of our own postures, let's say authority posture. This is one of the key postures from EYP that we use. What is it to have authority? Now, again, if you're in a meeting and you want to stand up and say, I really believe this, I know about this, I want this to be true, I want this to be the case, that's an extremely useful skill to have in life. But if you suddenly did this, people would be like, what the hell is wrong with him, Who does he think he is? But what you can do, again, is go from here to this. So slightly convexing the chest, and even just one hand under the table, like, okay, so here's what I suggest. And you'll see people do this. They'll be giving a speech and they'll do it even just for a moment. But it's that feeling. The same with generosity posture. Same base, from the heart, giving. Yeah. Some people will naturally be doing this micro posture the whole time. They'll walk into a room. They'll be like, hey, how can I help? How's it going? What are you? Oh, you're doing some filming. What do you need? Do you want tea? They've just naturally got that feeling of giving posture the whole time. So that's another great micro posture. Opening, so we have yes posture, or openness posture. I'll show you another time. So we've got yes posture and openness posture, which is similar. Now, the other day I was getting feedback from a colleague of mine, and I knew it was quite hard feedback. It was, something I wasn't doing so well, but I wanted to listen to him because I respected his opinion. And I found myself like arms crossed, like, all right, tell me, what have I done now? And then I went, no. Don't be obnoxious, listen to the guy, his opinion's worth something. And I just uncrossed my arms, softened my face, sat back in my chair rather than being forwards in my chair. And under it just went, okay, Frankie, tell me again, how did I screw up? I do want to listen to you actually. And just for that, I was really able to hear him, which is not my strength, all right? Another thing we can do is letting go posture. So there's the forward bend. Obviously, nice posture for letting go, child's pose or forwards bend. And now again, in the middle of a meeting, in the middle of a date, in the middle of an argument with your wife, you're not just going to start doing a forward bend. That's weird. I mean, sometimes you can go off and do it in the corner or, find a little room. I was just the other day, I came to a EYP training. I was a bit angry because of some problems I'd had with the venue and on the way there. And I had 10 minutes before the class. And just before the class, I found a little space. There was another yoga studio that wasn't being used, a little one. And I just did generosity, what am I giving today? And letting go of anger. I was able to do that. But sometimes we can't find a space, and you can just do the micro posture, and it's like this. Okay. It's like, fuck it. Oh, never mind. That's a little forward bend, that little, and you'll see people do this. You'll see people go, oh, never mind, it doesn't matter. Yeah, they'll do that in their body naturally. So it's not, we're just providing an alphabet really of natural human behavior. It's a language, you can think of it that way. So yeah, the micro postures, there's many, many more that I could show you based around the 24 main postures we have, but there's enough examples. Something super, super practical. And remember, the more you do the big postures, yeah, the big postures that we do in yoga, the more you're like building a repertoire, hammering those archetypes like solidly into your body, mind, consciousness, and then you almost just have to do a tiny little movement with the fingers, the eyes, the chest, and it triggers it, and you're in a different state straight away. So super, super useful thing, really proud of this. And yeah, if you're interested in some of the other postures, look at the other videos on embodied yoga principles.